Hey guys, do you remember that time Batman beat up a virus? Yeah, me neither. But let's check out Contagion Part 7. This takes place in Batman Shadow of the Bat number 49, which has a cover date of April of 96, called The Angel of Death. And I always like this cover because it's, Brian Stelfreeze, who's always awesome. But it's got like Bruce and, or Batman and Jim Gordon, and they're like got each other's back. And that's kind of a metaphor for the story, but also just kind of cool visually here. So great cover, and when it opens up, Shadow of the Bat always does that cheat where they have, you know, they one less page of art because they have this cover page, but then it starts off with this really cool like Grim Reaper, which kind of looks a lot like the next part, which we'll talk about, Part 8. This Graham Nolan cover with the Grim Reaper, so it's pretty cool. And it's got this guy. He's like a book agent. I guess he's a writer, and he's talking to his agent. I was gonna say he's a book agent, and he's kind of narrating the story of what's going on with the clench and all this horrible disease. And he's in Babylon Tower, so he's one of the rich guys getting away from it. And inside the towers, we've got Poison Ivy, and she thinks she has the cure. There it is, and she's auctioning off the cure, and people are throwing riches and diamonds and jewels and everything they have, and some people are just partying it up to the end of the world. And of course, she's very particular about what she wants, and this guy has a huge book advance. What was it? The check for $5 million book advance. So he gets the cure, but it's, as we find out, it's not really the cure. And so then we cut to Gotham City. We see some people taking advantage of the virus by robbing a jewelry store. I don't know why you would ever own a jewelry store in Gotham City. It's just going to get robbed, but there you go. McCain's. I wonder if that's a nod to Bob McCain. Bob McCain. Hello, Bob Kane. And then here we see Nightwing, whose ponytail is ridiculously long in this book. Just every panel, it's blowing in the wind, ridiculous. But we've got Huntress, we got Batman, we got Dick Grayson, and our boy Tim Drake right there, fighting these bad guys, fighting the jewelry thieves who came really heavily armed to rob a jewelry store there. But anyways, Tim is not feeling good because, as we saw in the last part, he was infected. And look at that ponytail. That's just crazy. And so now they're trying to do as much good as they can. Meanwhile, Poison Ivy thinks she's curing people, but as they start to get sick, they start to realize that maybe they don't have the cure right there. The vaccine, maybe it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't. So here's Jim Gordon. He looks pretty cool. I like the art on Jim Gordon here, and he's really. He says, "This is your only warning. Drop your weapons and return home, or we'll open fire." Like that's it. One warning, and then we're gonna just open fire on civilians and murder all of you. So that's a little much. But they put down their stuff and they go away, even though he's not commissioner at this point. But Bullock kind of calls him commish because they know he's going to be commissioner again real soon. Then again, more Poison Ivy. Then she thinks maybe her kiss will cure people, but probably not, although he looks happy to kiss Poison Ivy. And so Batman realizes he hasn't heard from Poison Ivy. This was a mistake to send her in there. So he's going to have to go in and figure out what's going on inside Babylon Tower. So he's got to kind of sneak in while Nightwing's ponytail just flips in the breeze. And Rob and I talked about this. Nightwing looks way too buff there. Like he's been hitting the gym and doing some serious roids. I mean, he's supposed to be an acrobat, pretty skinny and thin here. And then Robin, man, he just takes a dive right off the building, falls because he is just sick as can be. And I don't even know why Nightwing has to use a grappling hook and a bat line. He just uses ponytail there. Look how big that thing is. So Batman gets into Babylon Towers. There it is, Babylon Tower, and confronts Poison Ivy. And so they have a little like go around here over, what did you do? But now there's these people who are loyal to Poison Ivy, but people are dying. So it just kind of goes around and around. And meanwhile, Robin is just getting worse and worse, and Nightwing's ponytail is just getting longer and longer until Robin starts bleeding out of his eyeballs. And it's just, oh no, I'm infected. He knows it right there. And so let's see, back to Batman. more punch and kick and fighting, blah blah blah. You know, till Jim Gordon finally shows up and they knock Poison Ivy out, and they realize that this was all a big mistake. And the guy, I say, Huntress. I guess I had to fill in a page here, so Huntress kicks a little butt here. And then we see that the guy who started all this, the narrator, the writer who's been talking in this tape recorder, he's infected, he's bleeding, and that he says at the end here, I've never believed in God, Lester. You know that. Remember how I made fun of religion in Dark Hearts? But there's no one else to turn to now, and somehow I don't think God cares. And it just leaves him dying and us to Detective Comics 696. And the next is the 50th issue of Shadow of the Bat. So that's what we'll look at next time, part 8 of Contagion. So have a great day, and I'll see everybody later.